The script Symbolicy is the prequel, the story that takes place before my journey to Symbolicy began. And the one thing that bridges the end of Symbolicy and the beginning of my journey was the Symbolicy Packet. Now inside these packets are, filled with all these offbeat and creative concept exercises entitled expansions. And when applied, these expansions open the reader to a kind of deeper level within themselves. So once I knew beginning stages of the project, and I knew that the packet was the kind of source of transformation, and I was creating these videos, so I decided now I need to kind of create a prop. And so that's when I kind of created this pseudo packet, filled with this miscellaneous expansions and whatnot, in honor of the man, the myth, the legend of the project, Simon J. Moyer. Now, I haven't seen or looked at any of this kind of material in over about 6 or 7 years. But part of my expansion of kind of going back in time to kind of better my future, I plan on doing these expansions to my best ability to kind of open me up and to kind of see where it takes me. As we enter the new stages of development, binder and expansion, it's time to give this journey a new name. Symbolicy. So now that you have a name for this journey, it's time to lay the foundation. It's time to take a step back in order to move forward. So what I need you to do is write your fears, worries, and doubts. This will help create the inner dialogue to allow new positive affirmations to come through. So now that I have the list, what are the next stages? What you need to do now is go to your hypnotherapy book and go to the self-esteem chapter. Read the material and then apply it to your new expansion. So now that you have your positive list, you no longer need the negative one. And no longer applies to it. I am strong. I am confident. I am strong. Full of love. I belong. I'm confident. I am strong. Full of love. And I belong. I'm confident. I am strong. Full of love. And I belong. I am confident. I am strong. I am full of love. And I belong. Now that you have the positive affirmations, I want you to cut them up, fold them, and put them into a Ziploc bag. And every day, until the bag is empty, I want you to take out that positive affirmation and expand on it, add new light and energy to it. Believe in the highest source of love, for it will only guide you. Believe in the highest source of love, for it will only guide you to worlds far beyond these walls. So part of the packet, there's an option for you to work on your inner child by coloring in the doodles left throughout the packet. But kind of since I've already done that on several occasions throughout the Symbolicy series, this time around I kind of plan on taking those outdated doodles and blend them together to kind of tell a new story. And once I kind of construct new pictures based on the lines and the symmetry between the two little doodles, then I create a bigger picture, maybe 3 or 4 different of these, these combinations. And then finally, then I can then kind of work with my inner child to kind of color in these ideas, these new pictures, these new ideas, and kind of see what I can create from blending the past into telling a new story. In my friend Dreams expansion, it's all about finding inspiration through the dreams by expanding upon each other. So in this section, my dreams become the stories become the inspiration, and the inspiration becomes my guide. I usually like to start off dream expansions with like having an intention or a question to use as guidance. But however, with this expansion, I plan on starting the first half with having no intention, no questions, and no expectations. This kind of allows me to kind of go in blindly and kind of give me a good indication to where I'm at with my dream consciousness. For 3 nights, I will document my dreams to the fullest. I will then take the dream notes, incorporate them into my imagination, and then I'll create a story based on the imagery of those dreams. And so once I have the no expectation dream story, it's time to use it as inspiration for the next stages of dream expansion. And just like my first expansion, I will create 3 days of dream notes and imagery and then turn it into a story. However, there are 2 new rules that apply. The first thing is the intention, the mantra of sorts. In the first expansion, I didn't have an intention. So this time around, my mantra will be asking for guidance for the 3 days of dreams. The second thing is different is the story. When I first started the expansion, I didn't have a story to work off. But now that I have created the first dream story, it's now time to, I will now use that story as a meditational guide. So for those 3 nights, I will read the story before heading to sleep, trying to get back into the energy of the dream, and feel it, and get back into it, with the intentions of asking for guidance. So after the 3 nights of guidance-seeking dreams, I'll blend them together to tell yet another story of inspiration for the 3rd dream expansion. Part of the 3rd and final expansion, the game changes, but the story remains the same. My intentions before falling asleep is that of giving and sending love to those who have played a role in my life. It'll be a chance to pay tribute to friends and family who have passed, to people I probably will never see again here on Earth, to people who are on my path currently. So when you get that energy for 3 nights to kind of send love and blend in it with a story about guidance through the dreams, it's my hopes that when they come together, it's going to tell yet another story, another conclusion, tell the final story of these, of my friend Dreams expansion. Tell the final story of this expansion, my friend Dreams. As I said on many counts, there are many possibility and combinations when doing these Symbolicy expansions. So for this final expansion, it's no longer about these dreams, but it's all about telling a bigger picture. What I plan on doing is taking those 3 major dreams and kind of blending them together to kind of see how they can kind of work off each other. So I may have to do a little deconstruction and use my imagination to kind of rebuild a new story that tells the elements of these stories kind of as a full combo. So now that I've completed the Packet expansion and the Inner Child art combo, perhaps now I'll re-edit the Packet to a more detailed, more refined way to approach these expansions. And once I can complete the Symbolicy Packet, and once the Symbolicy Packet is complete, perhaps then, just like the script, I'll go out around the Seattle area and drop off these packets at random spots in hopes that strangers will come across these packets, read it, and apply it to their lives and hopefully transform them somehow, some way. And it's my hopes that they can, make contact with me to let me know how they made those transitions, how they've opened up themselves as a person reading this material. And lastly, it's a way for me to connect to people out there and let them know what I'm doing, and hopefully they can spread the word and take it from there. It's all about literally about expanding what I'm doing. So for me, going back and doing this is like a tribute to the man, the myth, the legend, getting back into the character of Simon J. Moyer. It also opens me up as a creator to see what direction I want to take it when I rework on this script, when I take it to the next level.